Today is the day that the Lord has made. That's why I come with a smile. Luyinda Freddy can do. Luyinda Freddy can do. For Iyala can do. For Iyala can do. Luyinda voti Luyinda. Enyaremu voti Luyinda. FDC voti Luyinda. DP voti Luyinda. UPC voti Luyinda. Jema voti Luyinda. Independent, yeah, independent, whoa. Right, Honorable Speaker. That was my introduction. I would like to start by quoting an American director, Hans Bernard, who once said, "We all benefit by having young people to the way things are done in a democratic society." Isn't it time to tap the power of the youth? Today, honorable members, I'm honored to present my manifesto from you, honorable members, as an independent ELA youth candidate. This manifesto does not present promises, but rather offers commitments that I will table as motions to be implemented into laws and policies when given the mandate. Essential to my agenda is a prioritization of the actual integration from the top leadership to the actual beneficiaries, who are the typical Ugandans out there who are watching us. When given mandate, below is how I intend to address certain challenges. Instability is a serious hindrance to the social and economic development. Partner states such as Democratic Republic of Congo, a new member state, is faced with political instabilities which are a great threat to us as member states. These instabilities have effects. They lead to refugee influx, where as per now as I speak, Uganda hosts over 1,700 refugees in Nyakabambe, Kisoro district, who have just crossed due to the M23 rebels takeover of Bunagana. There is human trafficking as a result of instability. People are trafficked for military services. People are trafficked for ritual purposes. This comes due to the promises for a better life. When given mandate, shall ensure that stability is a priority by putting the East Africa Standby Force to task and also fasten the East Africa Anti-Trafficking Bill 2016 through ensuring that the heads of states assent to the bill. Furthermore, fasten the process of extradition so that people engaging in human trafficking are brought to book. Right, Honorable Speaker, next to my agenda is the inadequate development youth programs. The fact the youth constitute the largest segment of population in all partner states makes them a crucial section of the society to forge the East Africa integration agenda. About 20% of the 27 million people in member states, such as Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda, are between the ages of 15 and 30. These are labeled as youth. However, there is still limited opportunities for the youth to appreciate in the business of technology and business. When voted as an ELA youth representative, I shall ensure there is youth exchange programs for sharing new opportunities, more so in the business and technology, and the youth to directly participate in the East Africa community activities. Since, Right Honorable Speaker, time is not my good ally, my manifesto contains other other challenges such as poor tourism policies, environmental issues, education and sports challenges, and others. As I conclude, because conclude I must, I want to compare the East Africa challenges to a familiar story of David and Goliath. Luyinda Fred is the David, and the East Africa challenges are the Goliath. When everyone had failed to defeat Goliath, it was this tiny man who, with a mere stone, defeated the Goliath. Honorable members, vote Luyinda Fred to defeat those challenges. Luyinda Freddy can do. Luyinda Freddy can do. For Iyala can do. NRM vote Luyinda. DP vote Luyinda. FDC vote Luyinda. Jema vote Luyinda. Independent, yeah. Independent, whoa.
Thank you, Mr. Luyinda. Your time is up.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Nze Haji Kaboggoza omusomi w'edduwa ntereeza ensonga z'amaka ebyenfuna n'endwadde ezitategeerekeka. Haji Kaboggoza omusomi w'edduwa nsiŋŋaanibwa ekitigoma ku lw'ejjinja. Bw'obanga otuuse ekitigoma mu ttawuni ku siteegi osobola okuba ku nnamba z'essimu ezo z'olaba zitambula. Gwe wenna ali ewala oyinza okuyita ku mukutu gwaffe ogwa WhatsApp ku layini eyo eya MTN obudde bwonna mbeerako. Bw'obanga otuuse ekitigoma ku stage osobola okulaba aba boda boda ne bakuleeta awaka oba n'onkubira ku nnamba z'essimu ezo.
The right honorable speaker, honorable ministers, honorable members of parliament, and the people of Uganda watching us. When I stand before you all as an inclusion specialist, 3 questions come to my mind. Will my audience understand me? Secondly, will my audience respond to me? Third, how to be inclusive in my communication? How? Those are the 3 questions that come to my mind as I stand before you. I have a simple solution to the 3 questions. Very easy. I'll teach you just 3 signs. 3 signs. The first, when we are clapping, this is how we clap. Secondly, yes, this is how we sign yes. Yes. And third, no. No. So, honorable members, we can use the 3 signs to be inclusive in communication.
Yes.
So that you can respond me. Honorable members, my speech is in 4 parts. 1, to understand who Ambrose is. Secondly, to understand my experience. Third, I want you to understand why I'm standing to go to Eyala. And fourth, I want to let you know why I am the best. So, honorable members, I will go back to the first part. Who am I? As I stand here before you, I am Ambrose Murangira. I became deaf at the age of 10 due to mumps. But because of my mother, who was very active, she encouraged me to continue with school. If it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be standing before you, honorable members, in Parliament of Uganda today. I have a big respect for the ladies here. When I see a woman, I see my mother. I'm using this opportunity to stand in the Parliament of Uganda to appreciate all the women in this country, million times. Honorable members, I have gone through lots of challenges, and I'm happy to let you know that I already have a master's in sector planning and management. I have written my PhD dissertation. That has been possible because of my mother. So it is possible because of people like you who are friendly to us. Honorable members, over 20 years back, my focus has been on inclusion. I have experience in inclusion as I stand here. What I feel I'm qualified to represent my country, East African Legislative Assembly. Why not? Yes, yes, yes. The question is, why am I going and what am I going to do? I have 5 reasons why I'm going. Some of you have already read my book, The Promise. The Promise, it has 17 points. I cannot say everything here because of time, but I have picked 5. First, diversity and inclusion. First. Honorable members, the East African community, the debate focuses on economic integration, but they forget social inclusion. Without social inclusion, integration, we cannot achieve economic integration. We cannot. That's why I want to go there. I want to build trust between partner states so that we have no more border closure. It is possible. Inclusion is possible. Trust in me as an expert in this area. The second reason, issues of security. Honorable members, I salute our army in this parliament. I salute you 1 million times. We are safe. You don't sleep. We relax. We sleep. We travel anywhere in Uganda without any problem. But the big question is it safe for me to go to Kenya, Tanzania, Congo? Is it safe? Are we safe? No. So we are not safe. So I will work with the Parliament of Uganda and the 10 members of Parliament, consulting and engaging them to make sure we have strong policies on security between the borders. Yeah, this is what I can promise. It is possible. It is possible through you, my honorable members of Parliament. And as we talk about security, we have issues. Like in sub-region of Karamoja, you have seen the cattle raiding. So the Karamoja members of Parliament, where are you? Where are you? I am there for you. I will protect you. I will make sure no more cattle raiding from Kenya. We will strengthen the laws. Third, honorable members. Honorable members, I have been visiting your constituencies. I have been talking to your people, and no one knew about the East African community. Why? So that is why I'm standing here, to link up with your people, to link up with you, to continue going to your constituencies. I promise in the first 5 years, I will be going with you in your constituencies. I cannot just wait for time for voting to come and visit your constituencies. Even tomorrow, if you vote me today, I will go with you tomorrow and start the work. Fourth, honorable members, we have multiple membership between the partner states. One country could have 3 like SADC, COMESA, honorable members, East African Community. The 3, they should have an engagement. They should harmonize trade protocols to see how we can benefit better, honorable members. This is what I can promise, and yes. And the 5th, honorable members, yeah, we have issues of weaker states. Yeah, for example, Burundi, South Sudan, Congo. We cannot leave them out. We have to support them. I am in Uganda, yes, but I will be a voice for the weaker states. I promise, honorable members, tell your colleagues in those states. And lastly, honorable members, as I stand here, because of Article 50, subsection 1, the East African Treaty, which says when you are voting the 9 members of parliament, you should have a representation of special interest groups. So I am standing here, honorable members, to represent this category of people, so that they are not left behind. We have to achieve the SDGs. The theme is leave no one behind. So I am going to represent millions of people who are watching us now. I will be their voice. I will be their voice of the voiceless. I am a voice for inclusion. And finally, honorable members, vote me. Look at my capacity and not my disability. As you have read my book, How to Become a Star Member of Parliament, many of you have gotten copies. That is a very good book. It shows my capacity. And I'm really happy. Our members of parliament, one time when I was starting campaign, I met a new member of parliament. I was engaging him to vote me. He asked me, you are deaf and dumb. How will you talk when you get there? How will you do it? I was sort of getting demoralized, but I did not lose hope. I engaged with a member of parliament. We had an engagement. Then he was enlightened. As I speak now, he is one of my agents. I thank you so much, honorable members of parliament. And finally, a vote for me is a vote for inclusion, a vote of many peoples of Uganda who are left behind for a long time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, honorable.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ambrose, and wish you all the best. Kadogo, we wish you all the best, Veronica. Order, colleagues, order. Honorable Veronica Kadogo. You have up to 7 minutes. Colleagues, order. Now, you're taking her time because we are already counting. She has a maximum of 7 minutes. Honorable Kadogo.
Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Ministers, the Honorable Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Babirie Veronica Kadoko. Veronica, I'm a graduate of Chambogo University and also a double graduate of Makerere University. Allow me to take this opportunity to congratulate Makerere University upon making 100 years. My working experience, I worked with Makerere University for 4 years. I joined Parliament of Uganda. I served in the 9th and the 10th Parliament. I served on the Committee of East Africa Community Affairs. And I also served as a vice chairperson for the Committee of East Africa. I'm the first chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Forum for Immunization. And I'm also a sportswoman, I'm a medalist, and I'm a basketballer. Honorable members, my agenda, once you send me to East Africa Legislative Assembly, I'm going to work on the protocols. I'm going to make sure trade union, customs union, monetary union, and political federation are implemented. Honorable members, I also pledge to work on the challenges which affect integration. I'm going to work on the road. I'm going to work on the road networks. I'm going to work on the railway networks. Honorable members, I want to assure you that once you elect me to go and represent you into East African Parliament, I'm going to continue working with you. And I will make sure that every member of Parliament makes it into the 12th Parliament.
Order, colleagues, order. Honorable colleagues, order. Microphone, Sergeant. Microphone.
Honorable.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Nze Haji Kaboggoza omusomi w'edduwa ntereza ensonga z'amaka ebyenfuna n'endwadde ezitategeerekeka. Haji Kaboggoza omusomi w'edduwa nsiŋŋaanibwa ekitigoma ku lw'ejjinja. Bw'obanga otuuse ekitigoma mu ttawuni ku siteegi osobola okuba ku nnamba z'essimu ezo z'olaba zitambula. Gwe wenna ali ewala oyinza okuyita ku mukutu gwaffe ogwa WhatsApp ku layini eyo eya MTN obudde bwonna mbeerako. Bw'obanga otuuse ekitigoma ku stage osobola okulaba aba boda ne bakuleeta awaka oba n'onkubira ku nnamba z'essimu ezo.
Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, my name is Kisembo Ronex Tendo. I am an independent aspirant to represent Uganda in the 50th Assembly in Arusha. I am a teacher by profession. I am a member of the Global Pan-African Movement, and I am the CEO of Africa Mashariki Fest, a regional youth organization that has been promoting the East African community integration through sports. Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, this honorable house is gathered here today to elect members to the 5th Assembly. And it's my humble prayer that it's important we take note of the program that has happened before. Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, the first and second assemblies established, Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, the first and second assemblies networked both at national parliaments and at global level to try and put together the acts of the assembly, and at the same time, Mheshimiwa Speaker, samani kidogo.
Colleagues, let's listen to Mr. Tendo. Mr. Tendo, go on.
Yes,
go on.
Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, I was saying that the first and second assemblies established rules of procedure of the assembly. The third and fourth assemblies have ably handled the enactment of laws that are being focused on to implement the treaty for the establishment of the community. Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, I would be wasting your time if I stood here to promise that I'm going to do things that have already been handled by the first, second, third, and fourth assemblies. Things like the customs union, the common market protocol, the monetary union, political federation, or even joint security operations. These are things that have already been agreed upon by partner states, and as we speak, are at implementation stage within the partner states. Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, my name Tendo in Kiswahili means action. If I'm given the opportunity to go to Arusha, I intend to focus on 3 points. The first point, Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members. The first point, Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, we need to send one team from East Africa to the Olympics, World Championships, and other international sporting games. Mheshimiwa Speaker, we need to see the flag of East Africa. We need to see the flag of East Africa flying when we go for the Olympics, when we go for World Championships, and when we go for other global sporting events. Mheshimiwa Speaker, the second point, if I'm given the opportunity to go to Arusha, I want to focus on the East African health insurance policy. Honorable members, our neighbors Rwanda and Kenya have made a great progress when it comes to their national health insurance schemes. But it's only Ugandan members of parliament who are continuing to suffer because of lack of a national health insurance scheme. When you give me the mandate to go to Arusha, I promise to work with fellow legislators to ensure that we have an East African community health insurance policy, so that, honorable members, once you are elected to this house, your voters, even those that never voted for you, turn you into their health insurance schemes. By voting me to go to Arusha, I promise to work with fellow legislators to ensure that we have a policy on health. Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, we need to have the East African community airspace opened. Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, flying right now from Entebbe to Nairobi costs more than $200, whereas flying from Nairobi to Mombasa, which is equally the same distance, honorable Speaker, costs $50. The difference here is because of the difference in airspace. If we are to walk the talk, can we have a unified East African community airspace so that we can allow people to traverse the region? Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, I pledge to work with colleagues in the Fifth Assembly to ensure that we have a unified policy when it comes to sending our teams to international games. I also pledge, honorable members, that once I'm given the opportunity to focus on the health insurance scheme. And the third point, Mheshimiwa Speaker, is a unified airspace for East Africa. Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, tunapozungumzia tunapozungumzia faida za mtangamano wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, ina maana kwamba kuna mambo makubwa matatu. Swala la kwanza, tunaangalia swala la ulinzi na usalama kwenye nchi wanachama. Swala la pili, Mheshimiwa Spika na waheshimiwa wabunge, tunaangalia swala la soko pana tuweze kufanya biashara nchi wanachama. Swala la tatu, Mheshimiwa Spika and honorable members, ni swala la miundombinu. Tunapoungana tunapaswa kuwa na barabara, tunapaswa kuwa na reli, tunapaswa kuwa na miundombinu mbalimbali ambayo itasaidia wananchi wa Afrika Mashariki kuweza kuendelea na mambo yao. Mheshimiwa Speaker and honorable members, I stand before you with the utmost humility, requesting you, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, that for the past 15 years, I have committed my time, energy, resources, promoting East African community. I want to request this one August House that once I'm given the opportunity, it will be giving me a raised platform to be able to further what I've been doing for 15 years on record. Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Mr. Tendo, your time is up. Thank you, and we wish you all the best. Next candidate, Buchana Julius. Mr. Buchana, you have up to 7 minutes.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the honorable members of Parliament, and the citizens in the gallery. I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. And to our Muslim brothers and sisters, allow me to greet you in the greatest salutation of all. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Julius Buchana. I hail from the Netherlands of this country, Kisoro. And when I came to Buganda, most people call me Enume Yorulio Live Wire.
Colleagues, order. Colleagues, I had
Right Honorable Speaker.
Colleagues, I had warned you earlier on. You know how we chair in this parliament. You can stamp, you don't clap, you don't shout, you don't jump. Because we want to keep this record on the Hansard. Mr. Buchana, let's listen to our friend.
Thank you
here.
so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for that defense. As a candidate for EALA, Right Honorable Speaker and members of Parliament, I believe that this is a race where Uganda needs to send a candidate or an MP who is supposed to represent us in all and in one accord. Right Honorable Speaker, as a candidate for EALA, I believe that the common markets of the EAC still have a lot of gaps to be accomplished. As a person, I believe in the East African market. But most of all, most of our farmers, I think members of Parliament, you'll agree with me, that in your various districts, you have farmers who have lost markets for their goods. How I wish the East African community and the summit, which engages all the member state presidents, come up with the East African markets so that we can negotiate on a single market for all our produce. I want to believe that EU gave us free of charge to export our goods to their countries, and it's of no charge. And I believe that when East Africa starts up the East African markets, we shall get market as a block, negotiate as a block, and our farmers will not operate in losses. Recently, our goods were put on a standstill, and most of our farmers were crying foul. And I believe most of the farmers who are attached to members of Parliament here, even members of Parliament who are farmers, the maize, the eggs, the meat, and everything was stopped from the border to cross over to Kenya. But when you go to the supermarkets in Uganda here, the milk is coming from Kenya. Brookside comes from Kenya, and we allow it here. Right Honorable Speaker and members of Parliament, I believe we need to understand that we need the East African Bureau of Standards, where all goods from the member states will be subjected to a quality test, and no member state will be blocking any of the goods crossing over to all the member states. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me talk about this as well, members of Parliament. We understand that the members of the states, inclusive of the presidents, the summit, and the Council of Ministers for the EAC, sat down and agreed that they are going to start up the East African Standby Force. This force was to make sure that the region is stabilized. I want to let you know, that this standby force has not been operationalized. This force, we understand that DR Congo is now suffering from M23, but its immediate neighbor, which is Rwanda, is accusing it of facilitating the M23. The standby force, which was put aside by the summit, was put aside and was taken to Kenya, but we're not seeing it in operation. I believe that when I go to ELA, my first kickoff segment of legislation will be to ask why the standby force is not in operation, because the unstabilized EAC is the weakened and the sick economy of EAC. And I want to end with this. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members of Parliament, the right way to do business in East Africa is to make sure that we put business, the politics of East Africa, and not politics, the business of East Africa. I want to repeat that. Let's make business the politics of East Africa and not politics the business of East Africa. Because we need to have our GDPs raised up, we need to find our goods market, we need to make sure our people are living in good conditions. As I conclude, Right Honorable Speaker and Members of Parliament, I want to let you know that the Fourth Estate, the media, has done a great work in amplifying the views from this very house. It could be incumbent of you, Members of Parliament, to select their own. I'm a journalist who has been working with NBS Television. I've interviewed most of you, and it could be incumbent of you to send a journalist to go and represent the views of the journalists in East Africa. Alive wire oye! Live wire oye! Live wire oye! I thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
We want the East African Bank here. How can you compare Uganda with others and then you deny the chance to Uganda to have the East African Bank? Why not? Why not? How can they be undermining us when we have our people there that we shall not have the East African Bank in Uganda? We are going to have it.